Before Noah's flood, before Sodom and Gomorrah, there was a rebellion so shocking, so scandalous, that God had to chain the participants in darkness until Judgment Day. 200 angels looked down from heaven, saw the daughters of men, and made a decision that shook the entire universe. This is not a myth. This is not a legend. This is written in the Book of Enoch, the ancient text found among the Dead Sea Scrolls in 1947. The Bible calls them the Watchers, angels assigned by God to watch over humanity, to protect, to guard, to observe. But somewhere in their watching, they started wanting. The Book of Enoch records the moment their leader, a watcher named Semjaza, gathered 200 of them on top of Mount Hermon, and he made them swear an oath, together, because he didn't want to be the only one who fell. They swore on that mountain, "We will go down, we will take wives from the daughters of men, and we will father children with them." 200 angels, one oath, one mountain, one decision that changed everything on earth. They came down, they married human women, and the children born from that union were not human. The Bible calls them the Nephilim, giants, hybrids, monsters. Some stood over 450 feet tall according to ancient records. They consumed everything humans had. Then they consumed the humans themselves. The earth became a place of violence, corruption, and terror. But that was only half the problem. The Watchers didn't just bring children, they brought forbidden knowledge. Enoch lists exactly what each angel taught. Azazel taught men how to make swords, shields, and weapons of war. Armaros taught the art of enchantments. Barakijal taught astrology. Kokabel taught the knowledge of clouds. Penemu taught mankind how to write and use ink and paper for deception. In one generation, humanity went from peaceful to completely corrupted, and God saw all of it. God sent 4 archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, with one mission: clean it up. Raphael was sent to bind Azazel, hand and foot, and throw him into the darkness of a desert pit called Dudael. There he waits, in chains, until the final judgment. Gabriel was sent to destroy the Nephilim giants, turning them against each other until none remained. And the 200 watchers themselves? The Bible tells us in 2 Peter chapter 2, God did not spare the angels who sinned, but cast them into chains of darkness to be held for judgment. Jude verse 6 confirms it. The angels who did not keep their positions, but abandoned their proper dwelling. These he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains. 200 angels, who had everything in heaven, who stood in the presence of God, who witnessed his glory every single day, and they gave it all up. For one moment of desire, now they sit in chains, in darkness, waiting for a judgment they know is coming. Here is what nobody talks about. These were not weak angels. These were not demons already fallen. These were beings who stood in the very presence of God, who knew his power, who saw his glory with their own eyes, and they still chose wrong. If angels, who literally lived in heaven, could be deceived by desire, what does that say about us? The Book of Enoch ends Semjasa's story with this. He looked down at what he had caused, the destruction, the giants, the flood coming, and he was filled with grief. But it was too late. The oath had been sworn, the children had been born, the damage was done. Some decisions you cannot undo. Think about that.